the point is not what's allowed and what's not allowed. It's what we would like to experience. I mean, if people want to experience the way this world is currently going and where it is designed to go, well, they should experience it and take the consequences of that. What I'm doing is saying, hey, the way this world is going, there are consequences, and there is a force behind it that wants to bring about those consequences. So, I can't change anything in and of myself. I can communicate information that can get people to maybe see, hey, the world's not like I thought it was. It is going in a direction I don't like. So maybe I should try to do something about the way it's going and stop it going there. What people like me are doing is just very simple. We're trying to give people choice. Now, if you are enslaved in five-sense reality to the point where you're not aware of anything beyond it, then you are not in a state of choice. There is no free will, and the manipulation of choice is one of the great foundations of control. We have this idea that we have freedom of choice. If I say in Phantom Self, if I offer you a choice of a cake or an apple, then you have a free choice to choose between them, but they're not the only choices. This is the point. So it's a free choice between two things, but it's not free choice in relation to other possible choices. And so what people like me are doing is saying to people, look, there are other ways of looking at the world. There's other ways of looking at why the world is as it is. There's other ways of seeing where this world is going and why. And therefore, you have more choices based on more knowledge of what there is to choose in terms of your perception of reality. What the system wants to do is dictate your perception of reality. And what people like me are trying to do is to change that, to widen that, so people can see actually the program is only one possibility. There are endless infinite others.
Listen, I love what you do. I love you, and this isn't anti. And I think this is an interesting conversation because I really want to get into your head. Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm just explaining what people like me are doing because it's
absolutely
important to make the point that I'm not coming along, as I've been saying now for 26 years. I'm not come along saying, here I am, here's what I'm saying, you must believe it. What I'm saying is, here's another possibility. What do you think?
And it's absolutely. And I remember when I was younger, I did not like being born into this world the way it was, because it was just one system, that was it. You had no choice. I was born into no choice in some respects, and I've always felt like that. So I do honor your work. It's just I've got the chance to look for my own answers, and as well as you have in your journey, and I'm finding a different possibility as well. Now, just recently, I know you're not a major fan of well, no, I'm not going to put those words there, but you enjoy some channeled material, not all of it. You've got, I would say. I got someone on from the Seth material just a few days ago. He was one of the New York boys that was with Jane Roberts at the ESP classes in where it was just outside New York where this took place. And I've always sort of respected the Seth material at a point. And what he said was very interesting. What Seth said was very interesting. He said that the truth filtered through you through your belief system. So basically what he's saying is that if you believe that the world is evil or whatever it may be, then that's going to filter your truth. As in, we make our own reality. We create our own reality. Do you think potentially that you could have created this truth because this is your belief?
The point is, it was never my belief. I was born into this world and I didn't like it very much. And I've always been questioning of authority because, my experience is that authority so often lies to you, even before my awakening. But what I've done since is just follow information. And from information have come conclusions. And, we can go as deep as you like into it all. But, you can also see that the basis of what I'm saying about the way the world's manipulated and where it's going is demonstrably true, because it's going there by the hour. So, is it my reality, or is it a collective reality? See, in the end, hold on a second. Let me finish. In the end, we're all just one consciousness. In the end, this is all just a game anyway. Sometimes it's a game we don't like, and a game that's extremely unpleasant, and people suffer terrible experiences. In the end, however, we will be, and always have been, and can only be, an infinite state of awareness. This is just an experience. This is not something that I'm challenging. I'm not saying that, I'm the last person to say, this is all there is, and therefore it's all what's going on is so important. What's important is the nature of the experience. I mean, do people want to live in a world where we can express our true self, or do they want to live in a world where the true self is increasingly being deleted and disconnected, and the transhumanist agenda is to do it technologically?
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of phantom self being disconnected from infinite self, you've seen nothing yet once they get technology inside people and connect that technology to a technologically generated sub-reality that people like the spokesman for Frankenstein, Ray Kurzweil, is calling the cloud. He says we'll be doing our thinking by 2030. What kind of experience do people want? That's the question. If they want to be attached to the cloud, well, do nothing, because that's the way it will end up. All I'm saying is there are other experiences to have, not just unpleasant ones. And so, take it or leave it is what I say. I've always said that. Just information. Make of it what you will.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know, and I appreciate that. And I'll just end it with this. It says another thing. According to the theory of belief, evidence comes first. Evidence comes secondary. Your belief comes first. As a filter, that is.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the case. I mean that's the case for everybody. And when you are doing anything, you need to, if you can appreciate that we create our own reality, you need to be constantly aware and constantly on guard from that perspective, because what the system is doing is downloading beliefs which then become experienced reality. And so, yes, you have to watch that all the time. Everybody does.
Someone like Eckhart Tolle, right? He would never come across this. He would never come across the angle you have. Someone like Wayne Dyer would not as well. They have come here to do their own things with their own teachings in their own way, just as you are as well. But there's all, it's all a different path in one sense with Eckhart and Wayne, but it all comes down to what you're saying as well, which is oneness and unconditional love. It still comes down to that core thing. I think it does. If I was to say...
Well, yes, mate, of course it does. And of course that's what I've been banging out all these years. But, you can just... See, when I look at the way that I'm seen by, the people that are, if you like, in some of the New Age stars, I'm dismissed with a wave of the hand by many of them. In fact, publicly condemned and dismissed by some of them, because they think that it's all about one thing and it's all about their thing. You see, I have this phrase, my dot is the only dot. And what you can do if you come from that perspective is you can think that you've got it with your dot, whatever it is, and therefore someone with other dots, they haven't got it. When from my perspective, to understand anything and to see a picture, you have to connect the dots. You have to see that they're all connected. It's no good this new age mentality saying everything's connected and then not dismiss the fact that everything in this world is connected. And you know, I hear people say, "Oh, you shouldn't talk about what you're talking about. It's negative." Well, okay, so what's negative about a greater awareness of what's going on? We got into this situation by not knowing what was going on. Thus, what's negative about knowing more about what's going on? And I hear people talk about you must let go of fear, and then they say, "Oh, you mustn't talk about that. It's too frightening." You know, we are infinite awareness, and therefore we should have the state of being, the state of awareness. Certainly, we all have the potential for it to look at this for what it is, and then decide what we're going to do in response to it. I've been uncovering this now for 26 years. I've had some very challenging experiences with people over the years when they've told me the horrors they've been through. I've been told the horrors that this network of families and this network of control and manipulation has done to people. But I'm not frightened of it. I'm not frightened of any of them. I'm not frightened of what's going on. It just is. Everything just is. And if we're going to try to make a difference in the world, if we think it's not, you know, what's going on is not very nice, then we've got to look it in the eye and face it, not run away and meditate and think, well, you know, hopefully it won't be there when I wake up.